Opposed the Planning, Development and Infrastructure Use of Vacant Land Amendment Bill. The Liberal Party opposes this vacant land bill. The Liberal Party has opposed this bill since it was proposed by the Greens. This is an area where we differ from the government. The government supported this bill in the Legislative Council. The Labor Party supported it. They clarified on the record in the Legislative Council, and I'll quote from the Labor Party's spokesperson on this bill when this was dealt with in the upper house of the Parliament. She said, "The government supports the intent of the bill and is open to discussing sensible reforms that see vital land that is being banked made available for housing." Consequently, the Liberal Party, through our Shadow Minister Michelle Lensink, articulated very clearly our staunch opposition to this bill. We are opposed to this bill because it is a betrayal of property rights. We are opposed to this bill because those people who have put through their work, their effort, money aside, as many of my constituents have spoken to me and Scott Kennedy, the Liberal candidate for Morialta, about, consider it their superannuation potentially. Many of them migrants to this country who have worked hard, who expected when they entered into the contract to purchase their land that those property rights, that contract right, that basic fundamental principle in a democratic society would be understood, that that was their land and they were able to apply it as appropriate. So for this bill to come forward from the Greens and supported by the government in the Legislative Council that would see their property rights abrogated, would see the government capable of imposing a compulsory lease over their land to do a government priority with no compensation to the landowner, with not even the opinion of the landowner taken into consideration, is utterly despicable. It is an extraordinary state of affairs. Sir, as you know, this is my last year in the Parliament. I'm working really hard not to use hyperbolic rhetoric in my speeches. I consider myself a peacemaker. I try and get along with everybody. But this bill is an utter failure in the duties of those Labor members who considered this bill in caucus and said, obviously, to their Legislative Council colleagues, yeah, let's support this bill. We're comfortable. We support the intent of this bill. So, the Liberal Party in the lower house will oppose the motion proposed by the Labor Party today. I am encouraged at the proposition that potentially the entire House might oppose this motion. The Liberal Party has been talking to people in the community a lot about this issue in the last few weeks. Certainly in Morialta, I know Scott Kennedy tells me every second day, every day he's out on the doors. He hears from somebody who is very concerned about this bill, and he certainly has said to me he would oppose this if it ever comes up, if it ever rears its ugly head again in the future. But in the meantime, I'm pleased to vote against this motion. I'm pleased to vote against this bill, and I hope, it is my sincere hope, that every member of this House will oppose this bill and send a clear message to the Greens. Will send a clear message to anyone in the Labor Party who thought this was a good idea, to the point they encouraged their caucus to support this in the Legislative Council, that it may never see its head again. But what the voters in Morialta and the voters across South Australia can be assured of is that Scott Kennedy in the Liberal Party in Morialta and the Liberal Party more generally will never support this legislation that so abrogates people's property rights, and hopefully we can nip this on the head right away now.
Contribution, member for Morialta, and your calmness and your cool approaches you vowed you would take to this debate. It being 11:30, it's time to put the question, and the question is that the bill be read a second time. All those in favour say aye. Those against say no. No. The noes have it. Mr Clark.